evening. Welcome to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. I'm your host, Erica, and you are here live with my boys, Fabian, Mike, Aubrey. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's up?
How was your week? How was your weekend?
Awesome.
Great weekend.
We had some good games. We'll be talking about them. All right, if this is your first time watching fantasy football, let me let you know that we meet here each and every Tuesday night to talk smack, talk stats. This is where team owners of fantasy leagues from around the world come, they gather, we talk face-to-face here in the studio and via Google Hangouts. So if you'd like to be a part of the show, stay tuned and I'll let you know just how to do that.
People that wear game breaker apparel are people with active lifestyles. A game breaker transcends sports. Game breaker lifestyle is an inspired lifestyle. Being a game breaker is about breaking this game of life. Now ask yourself, are you a game breaker?
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Scoregasms.
That's how Scoregasms prepares.
I like that, Kelvin.
That is how Scoregasms prepares for fantasy football. You crazy with it. What was on your mind when you did that? What possessed you? Where you got your inspiration from with that, KB?
Tyson's new book. That's probably what it was.
All this hate I'm getting. Nobody will trade with me. Nobody wants to talk to me. One of your panel guests told me today, he said, I have no interest in trading with you.
Thank you.
And benefit him. You heard the term cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's that man right there. Sitting in the middle.
That's right. I will never trade with you. I will never let the best team in the league get a good tight end. Never. Cut it out.
He put me in a dark mood.
You are the best team in the league. Congratulations on your win, 119 versus Steel Curtain 91, and you remain in the league. Congratulations to you. Now,
I appreciate it.
Who did it for you? What were some magical moments of your week?
Marshawn Lynch. I'll have to put it all in his plate because I was up by about 20 points, and my opponent had 4 players playing, and Marshawn Lynch outscored all 4.
You sure did.
Wow.
He did.
Do you have Chris Johnson also?
I do have Chris Johnson as well.
And you started him this week, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a couple of players that got you more than 20 fantasy points. Both your running backs. That's a great day from running backs.
And I have Zach Stacy on the bench for anyone out there that might want to trade with me, but nobody wants to trade with me. But that's
we'll talk after the show.
Didn't we say that last week?
You saw it was on there? Why is Erica hating? You saw it?
Erica hating on her brother. Oh, baby, I don't got no reason to hate. Numbers don't lie, okay? So I just look at the scoreboard. What do you see? That's all. I don't hate on nobody, boo-boo. I give you your props when props is due. You know it. I give you your time to shine. Speaking of, the brother want to say I'm hating on him. Terrence, how you doing? How you doing over there? You feeling a little salty because you dropped down a notch?
Listen, I'm gonna be in the playoffs.
You feeling a certain type of way?
Win. That's all that matters. Talk about my 122 points this week. Let's talk about that.
We can do that. You do get a victory. Clap, clap. You had the biggest point margin of victory this week. over Mike Williams. You got 122, 280. So congratulations to you.
I don't think that was the biggest
It
was.
was. That's what Yahoo reports.
Yeah.
It was the biggest.
122 to
And
122 to 80.
Calvin Johnson and Antonio Brown, huh? 25 fantasy points both. Those wide receivers killed me.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did. They did.
Calvin and Antonio Brown on the same team. Man, you had a good week from your wide.
Yep. Chris Ivory gave me 15.
That was a good pickup too.
Yeah.
You know,
Seattle's defense stepped it up. I tell you what I did wrong. I had a choice between Rainey and Leonard, and I read some articles. They said that Leonard was going to get the carries. I should have went with my gut and got Rainey.
Yeah, projected 12 points, but he only gave you 4. Barely 4.
that's the Griffin, Georgia boy, right? Rainey?
Yeah. Yep, I'm disappointed. And I'm sure he's not going to make it to my team off a waiver, so... You know, you win some, you lose some.
But yeah, Brown got you there. Got you 25.9 points, and Johnson got you 29.9. So they really carried the team for you.
Yeah, I can't complain about that at all.
That's what's up. And well, we can't talk to our second place winner. He lost this week, but still remains in the number 2 spot. Now, tell me, how does this happen? How do you lose and still remain in the number 2 spot?
Well, the division makes more of a difference than what spot you're coming in because the division is how you get into the playoffs. So we really have to look at the division now. We got 3 games left in the season, and this week everybody is playing a division team. So we can still move up and get into the running.
Okay.
Everybody's still in the race.
Well,
But to more specifically answer your question, Erica, because I spent a lot of time going over this weekend. Actually, the division is one thing, but it's based off of points. The tiebreakers will go to the record tiebreakers will go to the person with the highest points. If there is a tie in points, then it will go to best division record at that point in time. But for it to tie in points is going to be really, really rare. So it's really going to be who's got the most points. But Viz over there, if he loses a game, he could be out of playoffs because Nicole would move up. And then who was that spanked his ass this weekend?
That was Ike Turner.
Ike Turner.
Actually, I wouldn't consider it an ass. I wouldn't consider it an ass whooping. 78 to 97. Not much of, not too big of a point margin right there. But I will say he was nervous. Speaking of nerves, we're gonna help you out with next week. Some of you guys are nervous because you got some big games coming up. Like we said, we're playing people that are within our division, so it's gonna be a big week. So we're gonna calm your nerves a little bit. We got some advice coming up for you, but we're gonna recap last week just a little bit more. Keep it locked to Fantasy Football League live conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com.
So it's all about the quarterback.
What do you think about the wide receivers that the Atlanta Falcons have?
Wide receiver, we're talking about wide receivers right now. The wide receivers got to really be based out of the NFC.
Everybody focusing on wide receivers, but I'm going to tell you, sleeper wide receiver for New York Giants.
If they overloaded with wide receivers, you got to split the time, you got to split the catches, you're going to split the yards.
Who's better at that than the slot receiver?
As I'm picking receivers, I'm looking at the quarterbacks.
The wide receivers, but Tony Gonzalez is going to factor in.
In order to get a wide receiver, you got to make sure that that guy is coming through with everything, 100% all the time.
Hit me with the wide receiver. The wide receiver. The wide receiver. The wide receiver. Busted, you're close.
We'll do a word association game. It looks like you're going to be free agency quite a bit.
Well, good.
Right, you have a tremendous receiving core, and he's going to fit right in.
Yeah, but I think everybody's seen that show before. So you're going to have to, I think he'd be used more as a decoy.
You think so?
Roy. Welcome back to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. You are watching us live. And if you would like to be part of the show, just go ahead and email us at liveconversationswithanS@gmail.com. liveconversationswithanS@gmail.com. And you too can talk smack, talk stats, and maybe cry a little bit when somebody cracks on you too much. Like some of my boys on Google Hangouts. I don't know complaining. But we are talking. This is football, and we got Jerb on the line. Jerb, I wanna hear from you, cause you're in another league. Tell me about your league. How's your league doing? You're in the league with Mike Williams here.
Yeah, I'm in the league with Mike Williams. I'm in butt naked last. I got to win out to at least qualify for the wild card spot. I hated to do it to my boy Mike Williams, but I really put it to him. It was almost like a porno movie.
How so? I don't know if I want to hear this, but
Right. Hey, this is a family show, okay?
It was 80-31. I got points from Cam Newton. I got points from Marshawn Lynch gave me 20 points. Cam Newton gave me 25, and the kicker Nugent gave me 10. And he had some problems. He really had some problems.
Well, you know what they say, Jerry. Even a squirrel can find a nut every once in a while.
And if he holds on to it, who knows what might happen.
Oh no. Well, I want to talk about some of the predictions that we had going on in last week. I mean, everyone started Cam Newton last week, and perform. Like everyone said, start.
And he did a great job. He did a great job. 3 touchdowns, 209 yards passing, and then he runs for another 60 plus against the New England Patriots.
In what case do you not start Cam Newton though? Like, why is it? Like, do we need to put him on the list ever again?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, over the past 2 seasons, he's been good. At times, he has not been as consistent as he needs to be. But I think you're starting to see a better Cam Newton coming out. Last 7 games, I had an article talking about the last 7 games of last season, how they carried over into this season. He cut down his turnovers dramatically. His touchdowns were up. I mean, you're seeing a different poise type of maturation in him. So he's going to be a better fantasy player.
First or second round draft choice. You can't sit him. Even on his past records, you can't sit him. Cam Newton is a starter every week. I'm with you, Erica.
Now, speaking of can't sit, the Giants defense gave us 13. If you played Giants defense, you got 13 points, and that's pretty good out of a defense from a defensive team. But the Viz, Terrence, Jerb, and Alex sat him last week.
Who knew?
I mean, you know what? The Giants versus the Packers with no Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
He was in a sense a body without a heart. You need it. He was injured. I mean, I got to give the slight more so than the Aaron Rodgers being injured.
Who was
more
the
so
defense you started, Terrence?
Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, well, come on. You got to sit them. You got to sit the Giants.
But, I mean, it's the Giants, guys.
Yeah, they suck. They suck.
Speaking of sucking, okay, Jerb and Mike, you sat Mike Glennon versus the Falcons.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
I'd sit him again. I'm sorry. I'm just not a Glennon fan.
He's been playing better over the past couple weeks.
2 touchdowns, 19 fantasy points.
Yeah,
like, he didn't do too bad.
Good week, but I still wouldn't start him next week.
What do you got next week?
Yeah, past history. That's one and done.
All right. Well, let's speak.
What did Nick Foles do?
What did Nick Foles do?
He had a good week.
He had a good week.
How about Peyton Manning?
Mike Glennon still had a better week.
Yeah.
More so than anything. Mike Glennon playing the Falcons. I mean, we know the fact that the Falcons have their secondary is not the best in the first place, and then all the injuries that are on them. Man, I would have started him. We were saying Mike Glennon for weeks. Peyton Manning versus the Chiefs. I really thought he wasn't gonna make it out with a score, but he did.
Without
a score, he had 300 yards.
I said a score.
Yards.
I'm not talking about.
Yeah, but
I'm not talking about yards. Hear me out on
too.
this. Hear me out on this. I was saying that he may or may not score. His interception numbers might have been up. Yeah. Traditionally against the Chiefs, he scored 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Not really a blowout Peyton Manning performance against them all the time. But he showed up, 323 yards and a touchdown. He gave me 17 points.
You got to start Peyton every
KB?
week.
Yeah, Peyton's mine. I'd like to comment on that. I played Peyton. I have Kansas City's defense. I sacked them. Actually, Yeah, I sat them and I had Cincinnati's defense because I didn't want sibling rivalry there. I'm going to take away points once Peyton scores or when they get a fumble recovery or an interception. I'm taking points away from myself. So I sat Kansas City. I've been holding on for Cincinnati all season. I haven't played them once. I got 22 points out of them. I got 2 fumble recoveries and touchdowns. I think they ran 2 back. They had a tremendous day. I think they had 22 points, so it worked out great for them. Right.
Speaking of a tremendous day, I gotta give Aubrey a round of applause because you had a great game over the week. Great game. He's speechless. 121-86. You beat Hop Legion of Doom, and I see why. You picked up Donald Brown off the waiver wire. You picked up Kobe Fleener off the waiver wire. Andre Brown, Delaney Walker.
I benched Delaney Walker though.
Oh.
But I started Kobe over him.
15 points. Okay.
Oh, Kobe Fleener.
Okay. Yeah.
And it looks like the quarterback there really likes Fleener.
Well, he went to college with him.
Yeah.
He's a Stanford guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
He
and
really
then you
likes
have your offensive coordinator being Pep Hamilton. They're going to hook up a good bit. So.
So would you?
Go ahead.
I want to say, where did you get these? Were they just gut instincts to pick these players up?
I'm gonna tell you what, I watched it over NFL Network Fantasy Live. They would say that at the top ads, they said snatch them before anybody else snatched them. So I went and snatched them. And they said snatch the Giants defense. And they've been starting the Giants defense, been starters for the past 4 weeks. They said start them, regardless. So the Giants defense have been doubling, tripling their points. No one has rushed for 100 yards against them.
How about Trent Richardson? Who has Trent Richardson? And it looks like Brown's taking that job now, right?
Well, they're going to split the carries. So they said Trent Richardson is still the number 1 back, but they're going to split the carries with Donald Brown. So I'm going to ride Donald Brown out till the wheels come off.
All right. Well, we'll be back with more right here on Fantasy Football League. Fantasy Football League live conversations on MediaMindProTV. We just got the vids that just tuned in, and if you would like to join us on Google Hangouts yourself, email us at liveconversations@gmail.com. Liveconversations with an s@gmail.com. Stay tuned.
It's clown time.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I smell shit. What is? Oh.
Sunday, it's gonna be a kickoff, right? Put your chin strap on. Me, put your chin strap on. That's where I'm approaching. I'm putting on the chin strap.
We're gonna send you an
invite.
invite.
Put my chin strap on.
Make sure you accept
and
it.
y'all
I know,
leave.
right? Make sure you accept it. Right.
I'm trying to get in the last league. But you ran off of that.
We trying to help you out.
Really? You trying to help me out?
We trying to help you
How you
out.
trying to help me out?
Man, we've heard that before. We've heard that before.
Man, look here. What hell? Oh, deep shit.
What you say? He gonna be ready to quit halfway through the season. Man, this shit ain't no fun.
Let me tell you what I said the first time. I told him, I ain't scared of them. I'm trying to tell you. But you know what? I want to get in that lead the first time. Motherfuckers look at me, I can't get in. What am I supposed to do? Come in there and make him let me get in? Then I'm gonna look at me like he want to do something. Everybody know what that look like.
Now,
look at me if I had
you got a special invitation for Golden this year.
Look,
Come on in. All right?
Look, right.
He gonna come in our league.
Look, I'm strapping on my damn helmet on Sundays for they league. The kind of people that wear game breaker apparel are people with active lifestyles. A game breaker transcends sports. Game breaker lifestyle is an inspired lifestyle. Being a game breaker is about breaking this game of life. Now ask yourself, are you a game breaker?
Segment
Welcome
number
back
4.
to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. I'm your host, Erica, here with my boys, Fabian, Mike, and Aubrey.
What's up?
It's about that time to talk stunning performances. Who did it for you? Who blew it out the water this past week? And we got to talk Bobby Rainey when we talk stunning performances.
30 rushes, 163 yards. It seems like Tampa is not buying their own narrative and saying that their season is over.
No.
He is destroying it in fantasy. Well, for last week he did against the Falcons.
Rainey is a beast. He looked good when he was with Cleveland. I think he was with Cleveland for a little while.
He's a
He
Florida
just
Gator.
stayed injured.
It's Florida Gator, too.
I thought he was Kentucky.
No, he came out of Florida Gator.
Jefferson, Florida, Bobby Rainey.
Yeah.
Those guys are good.
Well, another guy that blew it out the water, Roethlisberger. I can never say his name right.
Ben
my tongue just-
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger. It doesn't want to just roll off my tongue correctly. But Scoregasms, you had him. Picked up 31 points from him.
Man, oh man.
Well, I think he had 38 points actually, and I didn't
okay.
play him because I have Peyton Manning. I think during the commercial break they were having a discussion. Do you ever sit Peyton Manning? And you just don't sit Peyton Manning. Even if I had been there and he had a favorable matchup, I will never sit Peyton as long as he's healthy. He's never.
Never.
I hear you.
But Ben had a great.
But 30 something points. I mean,
It's
just for the
an oddity.
my thing is for the matchup being favorable for that week.
It's an
That's
oddity.
me. I mean, if Big Ben was going against Jacksonville, you wouldn't start him probably over Peyton Manning going up against the number one defense at all. Period. But the matchup is favorable, so we'll move on to Antonio Brown. 7 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, 26 points. Take it away,
Yeah,
man.
mind games to speak on that. Terrence?
Man, you know what? He is the best weapon that they have in Pittsburgh. When Ben Roethlisberger takes a snap, he looks up, he says, "Where's Tone?" He throws him the ball. The kid can make plays anywhere on the field, downfield. He can catch it short and take it all the way, take it across the middle. I like him. And I might take Ben Roethlisberger in a trade of some sort so I can double up on those points as he's going to get them.
Stay connected.
He ain't gonna get him this week.
Playing Cleveland, huh?
Oh, man.
Well, let's go back to Scoregasms. Let's talk about Michael Floyd. 6 catches, 193 yards, a touchdown, giving you 25 points. Did you play him?
I did not play him. Honestly, I picked him up a couple weeks ago off the waiver wire, and I've been watching him. I wanted to play him a few weeks, or not play him, and actually just watch him and see what he does. Because honestly, I didn't know who he was, what he did, or anything. I was totally oblivious to him. But he will be in my lineup next week. I promise you.
Don't do it.
A couple weeks playing.
Yeah, he'll scare you with Carson Palmer at quarterback because he either throws a touchdown or he throws an interception.
I've been watching him all year. I've got him in another one of my leagues. He does not produce at all. At all. I wouldn't count on him. He got a lucky play. If you go back and you look at that play, there was some bad tackling, and that was it. That's all he did.
It was bad tackling. That was all him. But dude, so I can explain. My receivers, I had Riley Cooper had 3.5 points. Amendola had 4.5 points. So I'm kind of desperate. You know, as many points as I'm scoring and I'm still winning, they're not getting it done for me. Alshon Jeffrey had 10 points. That was all of my receiving points. So that's not getting it for me if I was playing a tough opponent.
Yeah, Michael Floyd does look like he's right in the market with them. So it's questionable who to start. It depends on who they play.
Yeah. So that's why I'm looking for a trade, guys. Anybody tight end, receivers, let me know. I know I'm talking on deaf ears, but I thought I'd try.
And we can kind of talk about the quarterback catching passes from the quarterback throwing passes to Michael Floyd, Carson Palmer. You had 419 yards this week, 2 touchdowns, gave you 24 points.
Who had him?
Well, no, he's a free agent. Sorry, FA.
Carson Palmer's a free agent?
Yeah.
Stay away from
Carson Palmer's a free agent in our league. Bobby Rainey's a free agent, and so is Matt McGloin,
But
who gave you 19 points.
Carson Palmer scares you because he throws so many interceptions.
Always, yeah.
You know, he gets a lot of he might get touchdowns, but he throws interceptions. He fumble balls. He scares you.
Yeah.
You know?
See quarterbacks bums.
Ray Rice showed up. 25 rushes, 131 yards. He
Way to
finally
go,
showed up.
Ray. Way to go, Ray.
Finally showed up. He gave you 20 points.
Way to go, Ray.
Gave you 20. Ray
That's
Rice,
a good
man.
thing.
He's out there trying to kill it. We'll see if he can keep it up.
As did Vincent Jackson, 22 points. 10 catches, 165 yards, a touchdown.
Destroying the Falcons. I mean,
Go
But
to
we'll
Rose.
only be against the Falcons. Can he do it against anybody else?
I
That's the
know.
question.
Vincent Jackson?
Yeah, Vince, he's a great wide receiver. It's
Yeah.
just the quarterback throwing to him, you sort of question. But he's a great wide receiver. But, you know, Tampa Bay playing the Falcons was a give me.
Now, so we talked about stunning performances, and to speak on the opposite of that, somebody who didn't have such a stunning week but just joined us via Google Hangouts, your boy Viz Visionaries. How you doing? You came back just in time.
I am doing fabulous. Even though I didn't do well this week, I'm still in second place. I'm doing my thing. I'm good. How about you all?
We're doing very well. So who failed you this week? Who let you down?
I mean, who didn't fail me? I mean, I had Steven Jackson. I gave him another chance. That's it for him. That failed me. Then I had Marvin Jones. I guess he had that 1 week, the wide receiver for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Terrible, yeah.
Cleveland just
Only 9
scratched him
receiving
out.
yards.
Yeah, and then you had T.Y. Hilton. He only had, 44 receiving yards. So it was just crazy. I had a bad week. But that's okay. I play Michael next week, so that's an easy win. So.
Okay, we'll see, bro. I'm going to take that shield off of you.
All right. Well, speaking of having a bad week, we will be talking about horrible weeks, horrible moments, especially when the players get injured. That's the worst. We got your injury report coming up, and we got the waiver wire report coming up, too, to let you know who you can replace these injured players with. Be sure you are hitting us up at liveconversations@gmail.com. You are watching Fantasy Football League Live Conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com. Stay with us.
I don't have what it takes. I prepare so no one can take what is mine. No one can replace my mind, my heart. To be the best and stay there, sweat is necessary. I'm older. Of course I'm older. That's the beauty of it. 16 years plus. Different level of wisdom, different level of understanding, different level of punishment. I want to live long after my records have fallen, long after my rings have tarnished. And whatever you got to do to make sure you chase your legacy every second of your life. Will you be remembered? How would you be remembered? Why wouldn't you fight for the greatest achievement ever? Leave your mark to endure forever.
come see me.
Welcome back to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. It is MediaMindProTV.com. Some people don't know how to be quiet when we're trying to have a show. But it's all to the good because it's time to talk about that injury report. Can we turn Google Hangouts down for a bit? Because they don't know when to shut up. Shut it up. All right, let's get to this injury report. I have no idea what they're talking about over there.
All right. Wes Welker, concussion, suffered Sunday. Don't know if he'll be out on Sunday for.
Chances are he probably will be. With the concussion, I think it was a pretty bad one, the way he walked off the field. So chances are he's not playing next Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, Fade Man will lose a valuable target, but he still has resources there.
But also, Julius Thomas has a knee issue, the tight end. So that's a problem in itself. So he's down with Wes Walker, Julius Thomas have the knee.
Eric Decker.
Yeah, so you only have two. But then again, you have Sean Marino in the backfield. He come out, catch passes. So he has weapons.
So they'll be all right. So
Eric Decker is out?
No, Eric Decker's not.
Oh, he's back.
No, he'll only have Eric Decker and pretty much Demaryius Thomas if Julius Thomas and Wes Welker can't go. But, I really don't see too much of a drop-off in his production after that. But Wes Welker is one you definitely need to look out for. Jordan Reed, he has a concussion. I mean, he's been forming a rapport with RG3. It's kind of hard to lose somebody like that as well.
I mean, Fred Davis comes to the front.
You know what? That's touch and go because I don't think his concussion was as bad as Wes Walker's. Mm-hmm. So he may be questionable for Sunday.
He might be questionable for Sunday. Okay.
That might hurt Nikki because Super Producers has that, and she's been doing pretty good. And but she has Reed. Yeah. So Jordan Reed, one of those. I mean, big, strong body.
Yeah.
Gets to the ball very well, blocks very well, but he may be out for Sunday's game. Emmanuel Sanders, his foot.
What's the matter?
It don't matter.
So you haven't been playing him? You haven't been playing him?
He ain't never started. He never played. He ain't never touched the field.
So why'd you pick him up?
Because I needed somebody. I was reaching. I lost my first two wide receivers, top 3 picks. Lost them. I'm just reaching. Because this
point in the season, you just might be.
This league gets your wide receivers quickly.
He has
this
speed, but he has bad hands. His hands are horrible.
Yeah, we have a lot of problems with Emmanuel Sanders. Well, he's out. So another guy who probably not a tier 1 guy, but may get you something. Greg Jennings. His Achilles.
He's not playing
active Sunday. He's not playing.
I think he may be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks with that. Achilles up in age. It's going to be a slow process for that Achilles to heal. So I want him to come back.
The wide receiver he was
in Green Bay.
Yeah, he doesn't really look like him. And so maybe it was Rodgers.
The drop off from Rodgers passing to you, and then whoever's at quarterback for Minnesota, it's a carousel there. Whoever's playing for you then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, hyperextended knee.
I think that really hurts.
Yeah.
I really think that hurts San Diego because, Rice is somebody you question. I mean, not Rice. Quarterback Rivers. It's somebody you question every time anyway. So you wonder without Keenan what he's going to do.
And they lost Malcolm Floyd. Didn't they lose Malcolm Floyd for the year? San Diego? Who's the receiver they lost for the year?
I mean,
the number 1.
It was Keenan Allen. They have Danny Woodhead, Malcolm Floyd.
Yeah, Malcolm Floyd is gone. So now you're down to basically Woodhead. And Woodhead is shaky at best.
That's very tough for you to get
so
yards.
pretty much for San Diego, you might have
wide receiver,
You might have pulled a plug on that.
And Keenan's been a fantasy darling. We hope he doesn't lose multiple weeks to have to play in, week 14 or 15, but he's been good for you in fantasy.
Well, having all these injured players that you obviously have to bench, who do we replace them with? Who are we picking up over the wire wire? What are your suggestions?
Well, I mean, from running back position, of course, you got to pick up Bobby Rainey after this. He's the number 1 guy.
Yeah,
coming off
but you know what? I'm pretty sure he's been snatched.
Yeah,
somebody has snatched Bobby Rainey. He's gone. I think that's the wrap.
He's gone.
Somebody said
he's a free agent in our league.
Who has Bob? Does anybody have Bobby Rainey?
Scoregasm. Don't you have Rainey?
They not paying attention on Google Hangouts, so don't even go to them.
Okay.
So then after that, we get Donald Brown. Donald Brown's been a little bit more consistent for the Colts after after the past couple weeks. People have been really like, okay, we're not going to play with Donald Brown, this year. I'm not going to draft him or whatever. But Donald Brown has actually been getting you points over the past 2 weeks. Also, Jairus Wright had a good week last week. 3 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. He might.
Is he consistent?
Right.
Because he's good this week. Next week, you sitting there like, What the hell?
You'll be like Marvin Jones.
Most of the players that are out there that tight right now, you get them, you're hoping they have a good week. They're not the consistent ones.
Yeah.
The consistent ones are out there and they're doing it.
But the quarterback from Oakland,
Matt McGloin.
Matt McGloin.
There's been a lot of news about him. 3 touchdowns on Sunday.
Who he play?
And he did well. I mean,
Well,
McGloin was awesome.
What do you play?
Kelvin has something to say.
Kelvin.
They
I think
talking
we
all
need to
this
go to Google
smack.
Hangouts because they talking
They
big
talking all
smack
this
over
smack
there.
on Google Hangouts, so when we come to them, they not paying attention.
I like what KB said. There's not a show without
Y'all
Google
on mute because
Hangouts.
y'all just sound like a peanut gallery. That's why y'all on mute. You gonna play by the rules.
Right. Heads don't win at all.
Hit the mic. Hit the mic.
See, go ahead.
Okay. What about Gary Graham?
Go ahead.
Gary Graham.
Can you mute them all the way so we
Please.
don't get nothing from the peanut gallery?
Oh my
Mute them
goodness.
all the way, Eric. Thank you. Thank you, audio.
Yo, Gary Graham.
But Gary Graham, they played this week against the Raiders.
Right.
Gary Graham was great for them. 7 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
But the only thing about Gary Graham, he's inconsistent because
Mostly.
he had this good game. Next game, you sitting there looking like, why did I keep this going on my
And
team?
plus the quarterback question in Houston. And
But
Case Keenum is starting.
His job.
He's lost his job.
Well,
Case Keenum
you know
is
why?
starting on Sunday.
Yeah,
Because
you
Gary
don't mess
Kubiak
with
wants to
Ron.
keep his job.
You don't mess with the wide receiver.
But Kubiak wants to keep his job,
Yeah, you
so he's
You
going to
don't
start.
mess with Johnson.
Well, that's why Johnson's saying, I'm playing till my contract is over.
It's over.
So that means what? I'm leaving.
Case
Yeah,
Keenum
yeah.
is playing on Sunday. I will say he has played better than Matt Schaub over the course of this season.
I agree.
The times that he has gotten into the game. I think Gary Graham might be a good pickup for you if you need a tight end. Points are hard to come by with those guys in the first place, but Gary Graham might be a bright spot. And so, the lone bright spot for the Falcons on Sunday, Anton Smith, 14 fantasy points.
I tell you what.
On 2 rushes, though.
But here's the deal. He should be the number 1 back because Steven Jackson's not getting it done. Matt
Clearly,
Snell
we
wants
saw
to eat
the
marijuana.
Viz talk about that.
Coming up, we're going to tell you who's going to get it done. We're going to tell you who our suggestions are, who you need to start, who you need to sit. That is coming up right here on MediaMindProTV.com. Make sure you're keeping it locked.
Can I ask you a
to
question?
Fantasy Football League live conversation.
But can I ask you a question?
Can you?
Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip. Same old attitude, but I'm on that new shit. They say they gon' ride me. See me never.
King is here. Oh yeah. He might be coming out of college. But that Alabama boy, he drafted by Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, right. I gotta put him down. Lacy. Oh yeah, he got power. Oh yeah, I like that Lacy boy. Oh, I might have to take him, and Green Bay needs a running back. Whoa, go Lacy. Okay. Yeah, gotta look at them rookies, gotta look at them draft choices.
Fantasy football quarterback for my team will be Aaron Rodgers. The top 3 point producing quarterbacks last year in fantasy football were in the order of Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I'm choosing Aaron Rodgers because, for one, Drew Brees, the defense is a little shaky. You have to have the ball to score points. They throw the ball a lot, but the defense is really weak. Tom Brady has issues with his receivers. Deion Branch is gone, Wes Welker's gone, and Aaron Hernandez is having legal issues. So we don't know if he's going to be available or not. And on top of that, Gronkowski is hurt. So that's it. And I'm going to choose Aaron Rodgers because they're going to be really, really hungry this year, and they can improve their defense, so they'll have the ball. How do you have Aaron Rodgers when I have Aaron Rodgers? Because I got the number 1 pick. I got the number 1 pick.
How many Super Bowls does Cleveland Browns have?
Hey, we done talking talking about that. Hey, let's not get personal. We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, set your resolution to standard, because if I set mine to high, if you're on a mobile device, you won't be able to see it.
He plays Virginia Tech. He should chase rabbits in his front yard.
Look how nice they are to each other so far.
Right.
Playing football, he sat on the bench. Oh, okay. Who's getting that? You been smoking. Come on, bro.
I heard you talking about them quarterbacks. Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to steal some information so when you get ready to draft, I know what's going on.
Loud. I thought you were the big payback.
Hey. I snitched it.
Because he got herpes now, so
We can make a secret group for those who are not allowed to directly on Facebook. Right. We'll make a private group for them.
Everybody knows about Jim Brown.
Jimmy, I'll be wearing that jersey. Yes, definitely. You will see that jersey on Fantasy Football Live Conversation.
The dog sound.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. And
Welcome back to Fantasy Football League live conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com, and it's about that time to get it in. This is the juice. This is the meat and potatoes of the show. Your mic is on, so please don't talk unless spoken to. Thank you. I mean, it's TV. It's live. We live. This is what we deal with. And if you would like to be part of this live show, just email us at liveconversations@gmail.com. But without further ado, let's take it. Start 'em, sit 'em. Let's
All right. Let's go. Lightning round, guys. Ray Rice looked better last week versus the Jets. Next week, start him, sit him.
Sit him.
All right, Mike, sit him. Aubrey.
Sit.
Jerb, Ray Rice.
Start him. Sorry, Rice. This is Jets defense sucks.
I see you, Golden. Ray Rice versus Jets. Start him, sit him. KB, Ray Rice. Start him, sit him.
I say sit him.
I'm sorry, Golden. What was that? This
Golden
Golden said sit him. KB, start him, sit him. Ray Rice.
I said sit him.
Yeah. I would sit him as well. I don't put any running backs up against that front seven, actually.
Wow. Okay, Terrence, start him, sit him.
sit him.
Sit him. The Viz, Ray Rice.
Hey, Rice is warming up right now, so start him.
We say we start him. Next week, Tom Brady goes up against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Start him, sit him.
Oh,
Start him.
Start him.
Start him.
Sit.
Sit him.
Start him.
Golden says start him.
Start him.
Oh, Jerb, Tom Brady. Start him, sit him next week.
Oh, you gotta start him. That's gonna be a air show.
Okay, KB.
I'd start him.
The Viz, start him, sit him. Tom Brady.
Brady's one of them players you have to start regardless.
All right, so we're starting Brady. Next week, JPP said that blood will be shed against the Cowboys. Eli Manning versus the Cowboys. Let's see if he can actually show up to that building. Do you start him or you sit him?
I would start Eli. Usually I would sit him, but against the Cowboys defense, I'll start him.
Start. Jerb.
I say sit him. I don't think New York is ready for prime time. The New York area is getting a poor football entertainment on the East Coast.
Golden, Eli Manning versus the Cowboys. Start him, sit him.
I say start him. I think he's always shown that he has a record of playing real big against Dallas Cowboys, so start him.
All right, KB, Eli Manning. Start him, sit him.
I have to agree with Golden. He does have a way of showing up for the Cowboys for some odd reason, so I'd start him.
Terrence, Eli Manning versus the Cowboys. Start him, sit him.
I can't agree with Golden. Sit him.
Cool. The Viz, Eli Manning versus the Cowboys. Start him, sit him.
New York will lose against Mike Allen, so you have to sit him.
All right. Big Ben playing better over the past couple of weeks. Scored 4 touchdowns last week. Takes on your Cleveland Browns.
Well, you know I'm going to sit him. They're playing Cleveland.
We got a biased opinion here.
Right.
I'm starting Ben.
Start Ben. Ben Roethlisberger versus the Browns. Start him, sit him.
You got to sit him, man. You got to sit him. Pittsburgh's got problems.
All right. Big Ben playing better over the past couple of weeks. Scored 4 touchdowns last week. Takes on your Cleveland Browns. Well, you know I'm going to sit him. They're playing Cleveland.
You got a sit him, man. You got to sit him. Pittsburgh's got problems.
You got to sit him.
All right, Golden. Ben Roethlisberger versus the Browns scored 4 touchdowns last week. He's getting better as the season progresses. Start him, sit him.
Ben Roethlisberger cannot start on any one of my teams. I say sit it.
KB, Ben Roethlisberger. Would you start him or sit him?
If 38 points last week is problems, I want some of that. So I want some problems.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna start.
Thank you, conventional wisdom. Terrence, start him, sit him.
Hey, you heard it, man. You start him.
The Viz, start him, sit him. Ben Roethlisberger.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with the Bryant brothers, but you have to start them.
I like that. All right. Colin Kaepernick has struggled over the past couple of weeks. Played against some good defenses. Does he have a chance against Washington? Start him, sit him.
Gotta start him. I gotta go with Colin.
Start.
Start him. Jerb, Colin Kaepernick versus Washington. Start him, sit him.
Start him. I got Anquan Bolden and Vernon Davis. You got to start him.
Smooth. Golden, Colin Kaepernick versus Washington. Start him, sit him.
Absolutely a start on this guy. He's due for a big game, and I think may come against the Washington Redskins. That defense shows some vulnerability.
Yeah. KB, Colin Kaepernick. Start him, sit him.
I'd sit him because I think his coach at the beginning of the year was trying to protect him. He told him not to run so much, and it's affected him. And somewhere in between, he's not passing accurately. I'd sit him. He's having a rough year so far.
Terrence, start him, sit him. Colin Kaepernick.
There is no such thing as due for a big game. You have to go out there and play football. You sit him. He ain't been playing ball good enough.
The Viz, Colin Kaepernick versus Washington. Do you start him, sit him?
San Francisco's offense will be out there often and long. So, yeah, start him. He has many chances.
Start him. Start him. All right. Next question. And
rolling around.
Next question. We put a disclaimer out here. We got Calvin Johnson versus Darrelle Revis. The last time they met, Calvin Johnson had 1 catch for 15 yards. Darrelle Revis was in all-pro form. There's been an ACL injury, but it seems like he's coming back into that form. Can he cover him the same way he did back in 2010? Start him, sit him.
You never, back to the Peyton Manning, sit Calvin Johnson unless he's injured.
Ever.
Thank you. Aubrey.
I got to go with Megatron.
Megatron. Jerb, Calvin Johnson versus Darrelle Revis next week. Start him, sit him.
You gotta start him, man. Come on, he's the best player in the league. You gotta start him.
All right, Golden. Darrelle Revis is matching up with Calvin Johnson next week. Do you start or sit Calvin Johnson? Golden.
Take your time, bro.
KB. KB.
I'm sorry, Golden just tickled me. Yeah, I'm going to start him. I'm going to start him because it doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, or 3 defenders on him. He still goes up against it.
All right, Terrence.
Man, I'll put Sherman on Revis' soft ass. I'm starting Johnson.
There you go.
The Viz.
Look at my face. Start him.
Start him. All right, we got Golden back. Golden. Calvin Johnson is going up against Darrelle Revis next week. Start him, sit him.
Calvin Johnson against anybody on the planet.
Thank you.
All right, so everybody wants to start Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
What would you do?
It's hard
I have
to
him
sit
in
a
my
Calvin
league.
Johnson.
You know, just, we'll go back. I mean, he had,
Something's wrong with you if
he
you're
had
a
a
manager
catch
and
for
you said
13
Calvin
yards. He was targeted 4 times in that game that they went up against Detroit back in 2010. Has Revis been slowed by that injury? Yes. Calvin
Wait,
Johnson,
what year was that you said?
2010. But Darrelle Revis is
Ray
still.
Lewis was good then too.
We'll say this. Darrelle Revis is still the best corner in the league. I still feel. Would I give the edge to Johnson? Probably so now. Yeah.
The
With the
edge.
injury, yeah.
The edge.
A catch for 13, a catch for 15 yards. He had 1 catch.
2010.
Well, there you have it. We will be posting our stardom situm results. We will be posting our stardom situm results on our Facebook page. If you have your own suggestions, we'd like to hear your input too. Make sure you're liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter. Everything is MediaMindPro. Facebook.com/MediaMindProTV. Also, Twitter.com/MediaMindPro. We want to hear from you, so make sure you're emailing us at liveconversations@gmail.com. We want to hear you on Google Hangouts, maybe right here in the studio. Bring your whole league in. You could talk smack, talk stats, with us right here each and every Tuesday night at 7:30 because it goes down. We'll be right back with more right here. Stay tuned to MediaMindProTV. Welcome back to Fantasy Football League live conversations on MediaMindProTV.com. I'm your host, Erica, along with my boys, Fabian, Mike, and Aubrey. And it's about that time that we answer some of your questions at homes because we love our listeners. Aubrey, who do we have?
We have Vic Special is in need of a wide receiver this upcoming week. Was thinking of the following: Malcolm Floyd, Arizona versus Indiana; T. Austin, St. Louis versus Chicago; C. Givens, St. Louis versus Chicago; Ruben Randall, New York Giants versus Dallas; or just stick with Jay Jones, Green Bay versus Minnesota. Need one for this week, so he wants to know who should he pick.
I see some minds pondering over there on Google Hangouts. Terrence?
He needs to start over and pick a new team. He don't have anybody. I didn't hear
Thanks a lot, Terrence.
Way to shut him down. Sorry about that,
Give him
Vic.
some advice, please.
Yeah, we just need to know which receiver should he pick.
Yeah, not clown his team.
Austin.
Said it.
Austin.
What'd you say, Jerb?
Austin.
Austin?
Austin. Yeah,
Austin?
Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you guys say?
I would either pick up Randall because he has been getting a touchdown a game.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to go with Jones because of the quarterback.
I would go with Ruben Randall.
I'll go Ruben Randall as
Who would you go with, KB?
I'd probably go with Ruben Randall as well, or I'd stick with the date that I brought to the dance and go with Jones second.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, next question.
John Bullard is asking, Malcolm Floyd Chargers or Ruben Randall New York Giants? Who should he pick?
I still go Ruben Randall.
I guess we already answered it because Malcolm Floyd was on the other one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So both John and Vic stick with Ruben.
Okay.
Number 3.
Question number 5.
Okay.
When do I start putting Percy Harvin in my lineup? I have Kenny Stills and Calvin Johnson as my starters. So I'd like to know, when should he start Percy Harvin?
Percy Harvin is probably going to be playing
Next week.
season.
Okay, but they want to know.
Next season.
But they want to know who should. Say that again, Jerb.
Wait. You said Calvin Johnson?
Right.
And
Well, we know Calvin started.
Listen, Josh from Chicago. Okay, let me repeat the question again. Josh from Chicago wants to know, when do I start putting Percy Harvin in my lineup? I have Kenny Stills and Calvin Johnson as my starters. Obviously, you're going to keep Calvin Johnson. You're not going to bench him.
May I take that one?
So you have to.
Take it, Golden.
Go ahead, Golden.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you need to go ahead. Seattle actually has a bye week, so after the bye week, he's actually Percy Harvin get another week to rest, and he's already looked pretty good. They use him sparingly against less competition. So when he comes back, I think he's going to be 100%. So I would start him as soon as he come off of the bye week.
So you would start him
In
and
week
replace him
13.
with Kenny Stills, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kenny
Okay.
Stills.
And Stills is seeing fewer passes now that Colston is back well, and Meacham and Moore are back.
Who you like, KB?
I'd probably start Percy. And it depends on whether you believe the coach, because the coach said this week that he wasn't going to change the offensive scheme for Percy Harvin, but I don't believe him. I think he has a bye week to work him in and get some more plays in. And he was explosive in that first game. So I would pick up Percy. I would go with Percy rather.
Who do you like, Viz?
Okay, they didn't rub off on me. I think I'm going to go with Percy too. Yeah, considering his last game.
Well, thank you for joining in. I appreciate that. We love you.
Well, that's all the Facebook questions we have time for today, but we do want to chime in with both our host in studio and our host on Google Hangouts and get your last words of advice, some suggestions going into week 12. What's some words of advice you got today?
Look for favorable matchups. Waiver wire's getting kind of thin. Who do you get in week 12? But we did throw some names out there that might be of some use to you. Again, as the races start to take shape for the playoffs, they'll begin sitting players. So make sure you pay attention to who they're sitting, so that way you can get some other guys in there.
Yeah. Think trades are the only way to go. So, KB, I take back what I say. Nobody's on the waiver wire. So let's reach, man. Don't believe everything I say. I was just messing with you, okay?
I would still check the fantasy live shows to see what's out there, because there are a lot of players out there that people are really sleeping on that you can pick up. So I will continue to watch those fantasy live shows and make your picks from there.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Like a player like Bobby Rainey, he's one of those sleepers that they talked about on the fantasy live shows.
Jerb, last words?
Player starters. We're going into the playoff hunt. So you need to go with your number ones and just be paying attention to the matchups and make sure that there's a number one quarterback playing with your lineup.
How about you, King KB?
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Yeah, you know it, baby. 92. Don't question me. I don't know. Just don't play me, and you'll be all right.
Terrence?
I think that guy already played himself. In our league, specifically to our league, people watch out, because there's a couple of teams that are just out of the playoffs by a few points or one win. So if you don't have a 2-3 game lead in your division, you might be out of there. That's at you, Viz.
And with Viz,
How's everybody attacking?
I know you're under attack today. What do you got to say about that?
Respect my
They're
friend.
attacking you.
One thing I say, I understand the reason, why they so salty. I beat up both the Bryan brothers, so it's understandable. All I got to say is that look at the injury report and look for the backups.
That's what you did last week. Yeah. Okay.
Say again?
That's what you did last week? You looked at the injury report?
Of course.
That's how you won?
Advice I wouldn't use.
That's how you won last week?
All right. Well, all I have to say is thank you for tuning in tonight. And be sure you watch us right here each and every Tuesday night. We have a bye week, though. Speaking of byes, we have a bye week next week. So I want you to have a happy Thanksgiving. And we'll be back with you the week after. So thank you for tuning in to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations, a.k.a. FFLLC. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace. We out of here.